Welcome to another edition of the Unsexy Businessmen Podcast, where we talk about all things entrepreneurship and unsexy businesses. As always, I'm joined by my brother, Aaron Skinner. I'm Alex Skinner, and today we're going to be chatting about the greatest lie ever told. Do what you love in entrepreneurship.
No,
I'm just going to...
no. Let me
there's
say
a
what
greater lie?
the real lie is. If you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
I just have to say this thing, as I've been getting older and older, I'll tell you, the thing that I absolutely love is making music, creating music. I've made a little bit of money in my lifetime, so I would consider myself technically a professional musician because I was paid money, not very much. But as I've gotten older, I was like, you know what? I think that would have actually absolutely sucked. There's a reason that musicians get divorced, have children out of wedlock, like some of my favorite musicians.
Drug issues,
Et cetera, et cetera. There's a reason why so few people end up normal after. So if I would have done the thing that I loved, I probably would have ended up dead. Actually, who knows? Another universe. But why I think that this is actually, Aaron, if you want to say, why is this bad advice? In entrepreneurship?
Absolutely. This is really poor advice. Because if it's something that you love, I'm trying to think of something that I love doing.
Woodworking.
No, traveling. I love traveling. I love going out and doing it. In fact, I learned this very quickly. So when I sold my business, this is 2019. I was like, I'm going to start a travel YouTube channel. And this is going to be awesome. I'll build it up. It'll make a bunch of money and I'll get paid to travel. This is great. So I planned this trip, went on this trip and realized literally I got my phone out or my camera out to start filming, going into the airport. And it was a giant pain in the ass. And I realized really quickly that the thing that I love doing, traveling, would turn into a job that I didn't like doing. It would take all the fun out of traveling and relaxing and stuff like that and turn into something that I don't like. And that could be anything, anything that you love doing. If you love something and turn it into a job, it's not a hobby anymore. It's now a job. And as we all know, jobs tend to come with lots of problems, lots of issues. So you're turning something that you absolutely love into something eventually that you're probably going to hate. So that's why I don't like when people say, do what you love, you'll never have to work a day in your life. I always say, do something that you're really good at. That's what you should do. Or something that you can learn to be really good at. That's what you should do. And then build on that. Keep the things that you love doing as your hobbies and your passion projects and things like that completely separate. Because once you bring in customers and their complaints and the stresses of everything, you aren't going to love that thing anymore. All right.
Was
good talking to everybody.
Shocking. And the next time that we have something, let's get our
listener questions.
This my favorite thing when I was teaching would be this part of it because I'm not a liar to a fault sometimes. Where I would tell my students, do you think I love marketing? Only a sadist would love marketing, especially digital marketing, where it is constantly changing. You think you've figured out the game and you've solved it. Here comes a new algorithm update from whoever's algorithm is changing that day. Just like freaking Google had a algorithm update December 11th rolled out for 3 weeks. It's just great. Now I have to figure out what the F's going on here, especially for any clients that impacts. So, no, I don't love it. Do you know what I like about digital marketing? I am very good at it. I'm very good at client relationships, and I am very good at making money off of it. This was before I had a business, and this is now. So I think the reason that people give out this advice is just the yearbook quote, the general platitudes of life, that when people don't know how to have real conversations, you just default to saying random things that have been said over and over and over again. I, again, as always, am going to blame social media for this. And I'm also going to blame educators. Because that quote that you initially said, I feel that gets floated around in schools a lot, where it's, what was it? If you do something you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yes.
And so you're getting these educators who don't work, no offense, educators. you're not updating your curriculums enough. Just going to let your curriculi, whoever knows what the what the plural of that
Yeah.
Greek word is, Latin word. I don't even know. But you are lying to people. Like, you're lying to people because all your job is to like pump people up. Like, at the end of the day, like, you know who like everyone's favorite teachers were? The people that were fun, the people that like
We're
made
nice to
them
them.
feel good. And so if you say something like, if you do something you love, you'll never work a day in your life. Like, you're right. You're right. If I do that, I will never work a day in my life. And then you start working and it's absolute BS.
Well, not only that, but it also gives you this false hope. And then you think you're a failure
If you
because
don't love
you're
it.
not doing what you love. And so you must be a failure of some sort. Like, I never loved carpet cleaning, window cleaning, janitorial cleaning, any of the sort of, I never loved doing it. There are aspects that I enjoyed. Like, it was always pleasurable to when there's like some crazy like dirty carpet or dirty windows or they're just covered in like hard water or whatever it is, and you can clean them and they look like perfect again. That was cool. Like, I like that part of it, but the grind of getting all the hoses out, doing all this, it'd be, I live in Idaho. Sometimes it'd be -12 outside and you're pulling stuff in, the hose would freeze. So there's always pain in the ass aspects to it. Again, I'll go to the kind of the opposite of this. Don't do what you hate either, like, because that's going to be miserable. Do, like Alex just said, do something that you're good at and you can make money, and then find the enjoyment in those little wins or little whatever it is, whatever parts of the business that you can find enjoyment is, do that. And that's what it really is. Like, you're just, yeah, man, I don't know why that I hate whenever I see somebody post on there. And I also go back to like professional athletes. Like, I always remember, like, man, if I could be in the NBA, that'd be the greatest job. And it is an amazing job, but there's plenty of people in the NBA that hate that
Hate
they're
their
in the
job.
NBA. They're making millions of dollars and they're still miserable, and they do it because they make a lot of money and they're good at it, but they don't love it. I mean, there are some that are. I'm not going to say there's some that don't absolutely love their job and they realize how awesome it is. But that's it. Just goes back, like, even when you're looking at like, oh, if I could just do this, the thing that I love playing pickleball. If I could do that forever and make $1 million doing that, my life would be great. It would eventually suck because it would become a job and then you'd be miserable. That's just what it is. Like, I don't know why, because it sounds sexy. That's why. That's kind of like you said, Alex. It just sounds great. Doesn't mean it's true. And once you figure that out, the better you're going to be. Like, you're not a failure because you don't love your job or you don't love the business that you created. But if you're making money and you're good at it, that's all that really matters.
Well, and ask yourself like why you love that thing. Like, I think that's going to be the ultimate question that you have. Like, why do you love this? A lot of times we love the hobbies that we like because it is escape. It is escape from the realities of working a job, making money. So this is the thing that I look forward to. So then when that thing that you enjoy and escape, like, now I can't escape to it anymore. I can't escape to this thing that I absolutely love because this is like my everyday, every single day. And I think, yeah, I was watching the Florida game yesterday. They have this 7'9" guy on there. And I always think of Shiloh Davis. He doesn't listen to the podcast, but it's okay. Shiloh Davis was like 6'8", and he just played basketball because he was 6'8". And guess what? He sucked at it. He sucked at it. Played, I think he played freshman basketball and then never played again. It was just because he was tall. And then I see the 7'9" guy who's like, I bet you, homeboy, like, I just need to get one check. I need to get that one check, that $1 million check that I'm set up for life. Then I can just go play Roblox with underage kids, or I could play, what's that? That was a bad example. Like, what's that other video game thing?
Fortnite.
Fortnite. I can go play Fortnite with my buds,
With my
and then my
homies,
life
yeah.
is set from there. And like, I think one thing too is we both have like used the example of like athletics. There are a lot of other passions that can be like making jewelry, woodworking. There are a lot of other passions that can can go to sellers
To a career.
or like to people, but you have to ask yourself, is there actually like demand for it? Because I forget who it was, but somebody I wish I could remember what the passion was, and I should have written it down when I was thinking about it earlier. earlier being a few days ago. And I was just like, who wants to buy that? Like, who wants to buy that thing? So you have to take in market and economic considerations as well, where it's like, yeah, I love this thing and I'd love to do it all the time. But I love, this isn't the example, but I love dancing. I'm like, gonna go strip? Like, that's the only way I know you're gonna start making money maybe, maybe making money right away. He is very attractive. But like, I don't know. I've like never done anything that, I guess music's the only one where like I then made money, but obviously I didn't try that hard to make more money because look, here I am. I'm not a musician. I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of rambling right now.
It's
I have
because
like no direction.
it's because it's true. Again, like if you're really good at woodworking and you want to sell your woodworking stuff, that's great. But just ask yourself, as soon as that one client that you said send your woodworking, let's say you're great at making tables, you send this table to, and then they're pissed off and said it sucked. Something you just worked, countless, sorry, countless hours on,
Emotional.
just and you're
Working
you
so hard on
tried,
that table.
and then they say the table sucks, like. That's like man, that's such a bummer. Like that's what I was doing I did lots of YouTube channels. I did the food. I've told you this story to Alex before, but I had a food channel, partyfoodhero.com. Go check it out. I never look at the comments because I haven't done it in 3 years, maybe 4. It doesn't matter. I was doing that, and because I love cooking, I love to cook. This is the perfect thing for me. But it was a pain in the ass because you have to film everything in a certain way. The lighting has to be good. You have to do all the video editing, all the stuff that I don't like doing. And then you get like people that say your food sucks or you suck or you look stupid or the video sucks itself. The quality of the video sucks. And then it took the passion just right out of it. And I know they say, well, never read the comments. Well, guess what? Guess what you have to do when you first start? You have to read all the comments and you have to respond to all the comments. And the internet is a horrible place. There's a lot of, actually, I would say the majority isn't horrible. It's the people that comment negatively, and that's like their passion is to just shit on anything that you're doing. It made me, I don't cook as much. Like it's something that I love doing. I do it every once in a while, but I did it for like 3 years trying to build that. And I loved cooking. I loved doing like having parties and doing that kind of stuff. And it just took all that enthusiasm out as soon as I had to start dealing with the fucking general public who, again, I would say the most part are good people, but the good people aren't leaving mean comments, even if they don't like what you've cooked or how your video looks. They're just like, that video kind of sucks. They say it to themselves, but you're dealing with all the douchebags out there that they love tearing people down. And, yeah, so that's I guess that's a real example of me trying to start something and then realize it, and it just kind of ruined it for me. So
yeah, you just burn out faster.
yes,
And I think that's like, I mean, I'm sure you still do cook like it, but
sure,
probably nowhere near the amount that you were doing before.
not even
And
close.
so not only, and I might be wrong with this, like not only are you not cooking as frequently, there's still like a little bit of a scar left over from like,
Sure,
like you're not doing Party Food Hero anymore. There's still like
no.
a little bit of like, man, I went balls to the walls for 3 years. 3 years? 2 years?
Yeah,
3 years?
it's 2,
3 years?
yeah, 2 or 3 years, something like that.
Balls to the walls for 3 years, cooking every single week, going nutso, getting like everything perfect, and then it's gone. So like I go back to my thing where it's like, if it's something that you absolutely love, use it for what it is for, which is like the escape that you're hoping to get from it.
Yes.
And then I guess like I guess it comes down to like what people, I think fulfillment, like what brings you fulfillment in life is like one of the more important things to like figure out. And so maybe like you get fulfillment from doing the thing that you love and making money off of it. Cool. Go ahead and do that. But I think a lot of times, what actually brings us fulfillment is just being able to like control our lives and be able to do. And a lot of times like making money is going to provide that autonomy. And generally speaking, making money is going to come from something that people think that you're competent about, not necessarily passionate about. I think that is one thing I would tell my students though, is yes, I don't love digital marketing, but the aspect that I do love about it is I love succeeding. I love
Yes.
problem solving. And so what is also fun about digital marketing, that complaint that I have of like, it's constantly changing, blah, 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 blah. Figuring out what it is and solving it every single time. There's very few other jobs that give you that opportunity so frequently. Where it's like, all right, cool. Now we have to figure this out. Now we have to figure that out. Now we have to figure that out. So I do enjoy that aspect of it. I'm sure there's other businesses where you're constantly having to problem solve, but this
Every
just happened to
business.
be the one. Yeah, this just happened to be the one that I fell into, and
We're good
so
at.
far, so good.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah. And then what I want to take a little bit of a like looking at unsexy businesses, because you mentioned, Aaron, like I never loved any of these things. I remember with our students, we would have a meeting with them beforehand because they had to like create their own business. And I didn't like how we would frame it, where it'd be like, yeah, so like what's like a passion project or a hobby or something that you have, like that's what you can build the website for. And so I changed the way I would portray it to students who were going to be joining the class, where it'd be like, there are a million ways to make money. You just think something that you would be able to do. And I'd always like do like the usual suspects, like um, window washing, because that's pretty easy to get into, car detailing, because that was pretty easy to get into. And I would like just name like those common 5 things that you and I always brought up, as opposed to, because I just want to reiterate, I would see this at scale. So many students who did the thing that they were passionate about or that they loved burned out way more than the people who did something they didn't like but started making money. So my car detailing dude, Nathan, like he started making money and he's just like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. So he got more excited about it because he's making money doing it. Then you have these people who's just like, I really like fashion. I really like fashion, who ended up hating fashion by the end of the class because that's all they did all the time. So this is why unsexy businesses are so awesome, because they are just a means to an end. It's a way to buy your freedom and have as much control over your life as possible, while also building up systems that will also give you cash flow. So that's why we pitch unsexy businesses so frequently, because they're the ones that get forgotten.
Because
so
nobody
often.
loves them. No one has a hobby of cleaning windows.
Right. What I was just reading. I wasn't reading. LOL. Me reading. I was watching a video.
Just real quick, Alex. And if you do have a hobby of cleaning windows, don't start a window cleaning business.
Yeah, and essentially, I don't know what it is, but every single entrepreneur related thing that I see is right now is all like, get into the trades, get into the trades, get into the trades. There's nobody who's like, you should start an AI app. Hey, you should start a website. You should do this. Like everyone is like, get into the things that AI cannot do.
What's the NVIDIA, the CEO of NVIDIA? I never remember his name.
Oh yeah, he said it. Yeah,
he said it.
I did read that.
Yes, he was just like, you needed to get into things that won't be affected negatively by AI. That's what people need to start getting into. It was like, so if the dude that's coming after all these other jobs is telling you that, we're telling you that too. So essentially, we're the CEO of NVIDIA. So just as that's all that really is. It's like, I don't know. You shouldn't love what you're doing. I know we're just going to keep repeating ourselves, because it's just do what you're good at. Do what you're good at, and have the passion be building your business, because that's where your passion and drive should come from, is seeing those successes. Like you're that guy that started the car detailing business. That's exactly right. Like, I'm sure he wasn't passionate about detailing cars, but I bet as soon as he started seeing the money that was coming in, he got real passionate about it, started looking at different techniques, better products, better tools, better, he's already learning the marketing, all those other things. And then you start getting passionate about building your actual business.
I think and I know that we hit on this a little bit, and I think the reason that we repeat this is anyone who believes or subscribes to this and is listening to, like, believes in do what you love, they're going to have to be told over and over and over and over, like it's going to have to be beaten out of them that like, no, do not do what you love. So we're repeating a lot of like the same themes, because you're still in your head convincing yourself like, no, I can't do the thing that I love.
You want to know why? You want to know why? Because like, well, my grandma loved making butter and she started a butter company and she made a bunch of money and she like, again, we talked about this in another podcast where it's like, you can't use the exception as your basis of building something. Like, yes, I'm sure people in the comments are going to say stuff like, well, I know this guy that he was passionate about this and built this and love, like, okay, yeah, there's always going to be exceptions, but we're talking about the reality of if you're doing something that you already love and trying to or if you have a hobby you love, you try to make a business out of it, more than likely you're going to eventually hate that hobby.
And I think if you're doing like this is like your first venture, you're going to not want to do another venture because it's going to be like, boom, the very first thing I ever did failed. And so like, oh, what's the point of like trying anything else? Like this thing failed. And now I don't love this thing that I was doing previously anymore. Oh no, the sky is falling. So it's to avoid that problem starting to happen for you where now I just give up on entrepreneurship as a whole. This goes back to like conversations we've had in the past where even sometimes things people didn't like with something that you love. I'm guessing here. I think with something that you love, you're also going to give it more time than, for example, like my gutter cleaning friend. Like gutter cleaning friend, he knew it was something he didn't like. He just didn't have the grit to keep doing it and try to make it successful. Or if it's something that you love, there's going to be this thing deep down inside your heart where you're just like, I have to make this work because this is the thing that I love. And then eventually it doesn't work. And then you go, oh, entrepreneurship isn't for me. If you put 2.5 years, 3 years into something and it just didn't work because there wasn't a market for it, or because like it was something that you love and then you started to hate it, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're not set up for entrepreneurship. It means you just chose the wrong thing and put way too much time into it. And then I know what the question is going to be like, how do you know when too long is too long? Like what is that time frame? That's going to be different for every individual. But for me, if you can't start making money within 6 months to a year, I mean, if you can't start making money within like 3 to 6 months, concerns. If you can't start becoming profitable within 6 months to a year, then I think it's time for you to consider moving on to another thing. I actually I just ordered a Christmas gift from like this jeweler who loves doing it. Like absolutely, like it is her passion project. Loves doing jewelry, and she started making money relatively quickly doing it. So sometimes like there's your example. Like I'll give you an example of someone I know who did the thing that they're passionate about and started making money doing it, but she started making money immediately. She started making money immediately because people loved her stuff. They were always complimenting, like, all right, cool. Would you buy this for $100? It cost me $80 to make. Great. I made $20. Then she started charging more and charging more. So if you can't start making money really fast, people aren't buying it quickly. Concerns. If you can't hit profitability by a year, especially by 18 months, definitely stop doing it.
Yes. Right.
I'm being conservative. I feel or liberal. I feel like I'm being very liberal with like the times. It should probably be less time than that, but you should really start making money relatively fast.
I'd be curious, how long has your jewelry friend been making jewelry? How long has she been in business?
She's definitely been in business for at least 5 years, probably longer than that. She started doing jewelry before I knew her.
Oh, I'd be curious to know how she feels about jewelry making. If she still is passionate about it, or if it's become a job.
Yeah. So to be fair, like she's not doing this in her off time anymore.
Sure.
It's not a hobby anymore. It is 100% her job.
Yeah. There's always going to be exceptions for sure, but don't live your life by exceptions.
That question though, like that's something I wasn't considering. Like, yeah, she's making money doing something that she loves, but she does now. It is a job. It's a source of income. She never does this for fun anymore. It's all just for making money.
Right. And the stresses
making a little doohickey for someone for Christmas, or that doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, and then the stresses of the job come in, and then I'd just be curious. I mean, she could still love it. I could be totally wrong. She's still
I'll shoot her a text. I was texting with her yesterday.
Still loves it, just as passionate. I'd be curious if she's just as passionate about it as she was 6 years ago, or whatever it is. And this isn't.
I was more highlighting her as like it's more of like the time frame example.
No,
like,
I know.
It's possible, but like you have to be making money by a certain point, or else you need to pivot to doing something else.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. And then, yeah, I think that's everything that I wanted to make sure I hit on. Like, it's just
It's not that this is
It's
going to be a shorter podcast because it's not that hard of a concept to really understand. We've already said it a million times. Do something that you're either already good at or can. I wasn't good at window cleaning. I wasn't good at carpet cleaning. I wasn't good at cleaning in general. I knew there was a need that people would pay for that I was willing to do instead of working at a call center. I got good at all of those things and made a lot of money because of it. So find something that you can either are good at or can get good at and build the business that way. And then have all your hobbies for that. That's your release thing. That's what you use to decompress. That's what you should use to do that. All your hobbies. And then you still have those. They're not going to be something that someone's going to tell you send them a table and that your table sucks or whatever it is, something that you're passionate. It sucks when you're really passionate about something and let's say you are really good at it and then people shit on what you're passionate about. And so that can always be a bummer.
transitioning over to some listener submitted business advice. As always, you can send us your questions at unsexybusinessmen@gmail.com or leave comments in YouTube or on any of our social media platforms. I think one of these was good.
They're both great. Thank
These
you
are
for your
both awesome.
questions.
So number one, I have some repeat customers that make excessive demands and never leave a tip. It's upsetting to my staff. What can we do about this? Also, we've had one customer who's going through mental issues to file our bathroom. Don't ask what she did to it, but what can we do to prevent things
I
like
don't
this
want to
from
know.
happening again?
I don't want to know what she did.
I have no idea what your business is. So I would assume this has to be leaving a tip and you have a
It's like
bathroom.
food, right?
Food. It's got to be food something. Yeah. And they don't leave a tip. Don't get into that industry if you want tips, first off. What are your thoughts on this? This one's like a weird one to me.
Well, it's just like I hate tip culture. We did a podcast on tip culture. It is such a scam. That's like one of the only things besides the cheese and onion soup that I'm excited about in France is there's no such thing as tip culture there. Don't expect tips or pay your employees more, raise your prices so you can pay your employees better. And if it's a customer that's there all the time, like, I don't know, like, don't be as good. Don't give them as good service. Like, I don't know. Are you still making money from that client that comes in every time? Like, I don't know what to tell you.
And I also have to know what the excessive demands are. Never leave tip. It's upsetting to my staff. Like, okay, like, I wonder, like, is this your staff like complaining to you? Because maybe someone sound the Gen Z, Gen A, Gen Alpha alarm right now because Alex is about to do old man fist waving right now. Are they just like teenage kids who just complain all the time? Like, I've worked at a number of places, and this now just removing the generational thing, I think it's just a young person thing. When I was a young person, you know what I did? I complained about my job all the time
Very
with my
entitled.
coworkers because we had something in common with one another that we could bitch about. So is this actually excessive demands or like for some reason I'm like, now, thank you for the coffee. Now get over here and suck my, like I'm imagining more like
Foot massage.
hurtful. I imagine like hurtful types of things, but it's just like, hey, I want a straw. Like I'm trying to think of like what excessive demands. Like, hey, I want
they're
some
always
ranch
complaining
dressing.
about the food, and they're always sending it back, or
Anyways.
want their soda filled up faster. Yeah, none of this seems excessive, but like you could always like listen. If this person sucks, you can always ban them from your restaurant.
Yeah, just ban them from the restaurant. Like this defiler person, just like you're no longer welcome.
Yeah,
but they have mental issues. I don't care if they have mental issues. Like so I assume that you're scared that they're going to come back and do
false
bodily
imprisonment
harm to you or whatever. Call the police. Call the police. Like this person is like causing so many problems. Be like, hey, this person's disturbing the police peace. Please come remove this person from.
I mean, this is pretty straightforward because we always talk about SOPs. Have it in your SOPs about. I mean, you document
defilers.
Yes, and you can name it as that SOP is named after that person. But that's all you have to do is just have a process where, hey, you did it again. You're fired. Document everything and protect yourself legally, and that's all you have to do.
The defiler was a customer.
Oh, then Is
It's
it,
easy, right?
wait, is it the same customer?
No, it just says a number of customers. They said one customer in particular defiled the bathroom.
Don't, whenever you see him coming in, throw the old out of order on the bathroom. That's what you do. Problem
Put a lock
solved.
on it.
Yes.
Key only for paying, or don't even say key only for paying customers.
Just,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
I would not, I would ban them from the store or from the restaurant or whatever your business is. It's a wild.
And you know what? Stop listening to the podcast. I hate to be that guy. Maybe we should start ranking. I've told myself this year I was going to be much more positive. We start ranking like the dumbest questions, and then like, well, so why'd you even read that question? We don't get a whole lot of questions, and so like we have the questions that we have to use. Like this just like blows my mind. I'm just like, you shouldn't run a business. Like there's some times where I read these emails where I'm just like, you do something else. Do something. This isn't that hard to solve. Anyways,
I know. I'm going to push back.
Listening.
Keep listening. Lots of people have questions that they just need some feedback on. Maybe you already knew what you do and you just needed some guidance or some encouragement. Yeah. Ban all of these, especially the defiler. Like the one time they defiled my bathroom, shame, fool me once, shame on me. Or was it shame on you? I can't remember.
Shame on me.
You're not fooling us. What's the George Bush one? You fool me once, shame on you. You fool me twice.
Something like that.
Yeah. You're not gonna fool. For you. Yeah. That's. I mean, once, whatever, twice. You're never coming into my restaurant ever again.
Mental issues or not. Number 2. Speaking of number 2s, my wife and I launched a fine jewelry business at the end of November, focusing on sterling silver and 14-karat gold basics. No, it's not my friend. Charms, rings, chains, and earrings. We're based in North Carolina. Cool. And sell primarily online. We don't have a storefront.
Is there a website in the description as well?
We don't know that is that.
We're running a deal right now.
We do have a studio people can visit. We expected a slow start, but we're struggling to get any traffic to the site. We've been trying to grow our social media and drive traffic that way, but engagement has been minimal. We're unsure what the right next step is. We've considered leaning harder into social, especially TikTok, reaching out to local marketing firms that specialize in jewelry. I wish you told us how much you're making. Or doing more in-person pop-ups. We did one holiday market pop-up that went really well, and in hindsight, we should have planned more of those. There you go. Okay, there's your bold that line. At this point, our budget is tight after investing in materials and inventory, but we can put in the sweat equity. We're trying to figure out what's worth focusing on: SEO, paid ads, influencer, giveaways, or something else without falling into common traps.
This one's yours, Alex. This one's yours.
I was just going to say, do more pop-ups. Like we did one holiday market pop-up that went really well. I have a feeling pop-ups aren't just around the holiday season. I don't know what you're referring to. I assume you're like a farmer's market type thing is what a pop-up is. There are small business things that are constantly going on all over the place. So if you find that selling in person is performing better for you, sell in person as much as possible. And in terms of like what you should focus on that's going to get you like the best ROI is really going to come down to your risk tolerance. SEO, you not knowing what you're doing, you're probably never going to be that good on it. But here's the thing for you: get your Google business profile up and make sure that you are getting as many reviews as possible to your Google business profile. I would probably go the paid ads route. Jewelry is a very expensive niche, and it probably is going to make more sense for you to be doing social ads versus search ads. And then influencers are just incredibly expensive. If you know an influencer who will like hook you up and do it cheap, fantastic. But I would say start selling in person more, because that apparently you guys are great salespeople. So focus on that, and then start doing paid social ads and just make sure that your SEO, your Google business profile is getting as many reviews as possible coming to it right now.
I'll tell you what you do.
I would not hire someone to do this.
I'll tell you what you do. You spend $300, $500, I don't know what our course costs. And buy the course and learn how to do all of this for a a very small fraction of what you would pay someone else to do it. And then you can learn how to do all of your SEO, all of your digital marketing, everything for a very, very small amount of money. You could put your time into that. And then, yeah, the pop-ups, keep doing those. Whatever's making you the most money, keep doing those things. And you don't have to wait for the holidays. Like, dude, there's there's hamburger day. Obviously you're not gonna do it for hamburger day, but like every day, go on Google, like every day there's a national whatever day on almost every single day. And so find like one a month that you can do and do a pop-up somewhere where you can get people excited about it. That's also going to help build up your brand in general. The more people you can get in front of at these pop-ups, especially if you can put them in places where there's, higher traffic and people just, foot traffic, people walking by, they're going to get to know your brand, and that's going to build it up as well. And you'll get repeat customers. If these people are loving what you're selling, the next engagement, the next anniversary, the next whatever, they're going to come to you because you've built that relationship with them. So keep doing these pop-ups until you've built up enough of a clientele that's repeat clients that you don't have to do the pop-ups anymore, or maybe keep doing them if they're making you a ton of money each time you do them. But that's how you're going to build up your client base, is by getting in front of as many people as you can. And if you don't want to spend the money on what it's going to cost to hire an agency, like Alex said, don't do that. Buy our course. Then this is going to be, it's just going to be it's the man hours of getting out there and doing it, finding out what good places, like, yeah, farmers markets. There's tons of stuff like that in almost every city that you could find that you could just be a part of. So yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, my biggest concern with agencies at this point, as I keep onboarding a bunch of people who get frustrated with their agency, is the variability. So like literally a jeweler came to us and was like, hey, can you just like audit what they are doing? I was just like, looks like they did well. Then they increased budget and things started to go not well. So maybe just go back to what you're spending. But how do we scale it? Hire me and I will tell you how we go about scaling this. And then in that conversation with them as well, I found out that they had switched who their main point of contact was. So essentially it was just like, oh, you probably got someone who has no idea what they're doing now. Like that's a very common thing with an agency. That's like my big, whenever I tell people don't go to an agency, it's because it can go really awesome. It can go really awesome. Don't get me wrong, but it's very dependent on whoever your point of contact is. So if that point of contact leaves, like, dude, when someone took over for me after I switched to my new position, that's what all of Keystone's clients are built off of, because they left the agency. They left that person and just like, okay, well, you're not Alex. You don't seem to care as much as he did. See ya. So that's all I got to say about that.
Agreed.
Forrest Gump. Well, everyone, you guys have a wonderful rest of the week, and we will chat with you later. Thank you for listening to the Unsexy Businessmen. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review. Now go get to work.